Brandon, this is a very extremely random question. What do you know what size? Do you have a preference in pick size when you are playing guitar and you're using a pick and you're not using your fingies?
I mean, national average is what, like 4.5 inches. So like, I just assume anything around that is probably good.
Do you have a pick weight that you like?
Whatever the one that you put out forever ago was, the yellow ones. I guess that's like a medium weight.
Let's see. I have one on my desktop.
I was say, I swear I have one somewhere around me. But you also hit something else. Yes, you also hit something else that I really like. I like a matte finish. Yeah, because it's got just enough tactile kind of feel, because I tend to, fat guy, get sweaty hands as I play. So I like to have something that gives me just a little bit of grip. Too much grip, like anything that is thick enough that has like a groove cut in it or whatever it is, where like you've got like a thumbprint or something. It's too much pick. Like, I don't know what you're playing with that. Like that feels like you're getting into medieval times level shit or whatever it is. But like, anything with a medium pick weight, I feel like you should be able to play basically any regular guitar. I imagine if you're doing like 7-string bullshit and you're like, I don't know who the fuck the fucking guitar player for Stained is these days, but that guy's probably running something a little thicker. Yeah, like, but even then, to my understanding, like some of the guys who are doing like drop C tuning and stuff like that in like Mastodon, which is one of my favorite bands, they're still using like a regular medium size or medium weight, like Ernie Ball style pick. Like it's just, the idea is you play it, if it breaks, you huck it, and you grab another one, and they've got their logo on it, and it's one of those things of much like yours. Hey, you chuck it in the crowd, and cool, and somebody gets a way to pick. And like it gives you just enough resonance that you end up getting a good tone. It doesn't feel terribly clunky, and you don't end up getting that clicking sound as you play. Yeah.
So when I first started playing my dad's guitar, he had these very thin, tortoise shell like guitar picks for acoustic.
Yeah, my dad used to play those too, and I could never get into those.
I tore through them all the time. So I upgraded to like the Tortec green one, whatever the Tortec green one.
Yep. Yeah. Which again has a very similar kind of feel to your yellow ones. And that was kind of my go-to as well. The really light tortoise ones, I felt like I was either breaking them too quickly, or I was getting more pick noise and like plastic clacking than I was actually getting real tone out of the guitar. And I felt like, okay, clearly this feels like the sort of thing of like, I'm trying to do this like Eric Clapton levels slow hand bullshit, which is, I think, I'm convinced that's one of those things. Cause like your dad is about the same age as my dad, or does he date him by like another 10 years?
My dad's older. Yeah.
I would say, because my dad's, I think, 67.
Oh, no. My dad's older.
Okay. All right. So, well, I wasn't sure what the guitar influences would be, and would they be similar to be able to play the sort of things? Because I've seen a lot of players of certain ages tend to pick up the same sort of things depending on what their influence is.
Yeah, he was into like folk music, like American folk music, and like all that stuff. So,
I could maybe see a little bit of a tie-in there with enjoying things like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and the Moody Blues and stuff like that. That maybe there was some crossover, but anyway, continue.
Not at all.
That's fine.
So from there, when I first got my Squire, which ironically is still that body, my first Squire, I started using the Tortec green picks. I don't know what the gauge is, but I know they're green, and I started using them because I read somewhere that Metallica used them, and I was like, "Well, if it's good enough for Metallica." I also used Dean Markley strings because it was good enough for Metallica. So I started using like 10 gauge on everything. I think the PRS is strung with 10s.
Okay.
This has 9s now, because now I know better. Like, you don't have to fight your guitar. Like,
right. Yeah. I was going to say,
I got climbing fingers and I can fight my guitar.
You don't need that with your, no, I usually will run like Ernie Ball slinkies in a 9 on an electric guitar. I will run like proper 11s on an acoustic. Because I want that fucking tone.
I have My current strings are the Dario Super Lights, whatever, nickel plated, smooth, whatever the fuck these are.
Yeah.
So I somewhere along the line, I wanted to see what other picks were out there. So I picked up a Tortec Blue. I'm a fan of the Tortecs because they're matte and they fit my hand and they don't slip out.
Yep.
And so I picked up a Tortec Blue, which is, I do know that it is 1 millimeter thick. So it is thicker than the green ones. And I think it's the thickest of the Tortec line.
Okay.
And I like that because it gives me like really good articulation and just like, if I need to pull back for strummies, I got the strummies. I don't care about string noise because the pickups don't pick up the string noise. It just goes to my recording setup. On a whim, during the panorama, I was like going around Etsy, just looking at shit, and I found a vendor that sold these big, thick fuck picks. And I was like, let me try out a big, thick fuck pick. So this guy is from a place called Dragon Picks or something like that.
The fuck is that supposed to be?
It is 9 millimeters of the thickness.
No, that's a fucking Werther's original with a point is what that is.
Yes, it is.
You're playing with grandma's candy at that point.
Yeah, this thing, grandma gives it to you. You put it in your mouth. It cracks all of your teeth because it's been there for like ages.
That is the sort of thing that like fucking Heath Ledger's Joker could kill a man with.
Yeah. Well, the guitarist for Def Leppard uses just like a coin, like a quarter that he shaved down, like a thing. It's always like, well, people use all sorts of shit for picks. Let me try this out. Brandon, let me tell you, I love this thing. I love this thing. I don't know why this works out so well, but it works. It does what I need if I'm playing fast. If I'm doing like runs, it's very, very clean, articulated sounds. If I'm doing like the chunky funk stuff, it does that. I didn't think it would, but this works for me. The only problem is it costs too much money.
And how much are each one of these picks?
I think this one was like $20 or something.
Jesus
like that.
Fuck.
I was in a fever dream. I was like, fuck this noise. So,
you know what, though? In all fairness, you're not breaking that thing. So the chances of you needing to huck that thing into the crowd are less than zero.
Well, that's the thing. It won't break, but I've only got one and I don't want to lose it. So if I'm going to play someplace, if I'm going to play somewhere, I need a different solution. So I came across this brand, and this is not an advertisement for them, but it's going to sound like it is. There's a brand called Gravity Picks, and they specialize in the thicker boys. So I got a variety pack from them just because I wanted to try out. This Duber here, it's a 1.5 millimeter, so already way bigger than the Tortec Blue.
Yeah.
This one is nice. The only thing I don't like about the Gravity Picks is that they're very smooth, and I can't deal with that. So
yeah.
When I found the one I liked, I started sanding the edges because I was like, "Fuck this! I need to." So the 1.5, if you're going 1.5, you might as well get the Tortex 1.0 because that
right, yeah, right, minimal difference.
Yeah, 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters come in blue. 2 millimeters. We're starting to get somewhere.
Okay.
This is the regular size. This is the more triangular thing. If you want to be like Carlos Santana and grab like a tortilla chip or like a Dorito, because he has a big fucking like Dorito sized pick. And
yeah, because he uses something similar to like, I'm trying to remember the fucking name of that Japanese string instrument that I think it's like it's played on the
shamisen.
Whatever it is, yeah, the one that does the like. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Like, and I seem to remember them using like it almost looks like a fan kind of thing.
It's a fan.
Like it's fucking huge. Yeah, I feel like a shithead not knowing the name of all that shit. But you know what I'm talking about though. Like it's a fucking huge thing, and I swear it's got like almost a fucking wrist brace on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like I was almost curious to see like is there like a little leash like a boogie board so this way that thing doesn't get away from you.
Yeah. Well, I think you might like one of these guys. I think you might like this shape because it's pretty big. You've got bigger hands, so it'll fit nice.
I don't care for anything that's triangular like that. The points dig into the sides of my hand as I play because I tend to actually press my thumb in a little bit, so I need a little bit of a bow in there. So this is why also I don't really care for a terribly thick pick. I want something that gives me good tone but still bends a bit, so this way I have that comfortable kind of feel. The other thing is that
these do not bend.
it wears your fucking hand down, as far as I feel, when you have a pick that is too thick, because you're not able to get that bend going on and create that kind of fanning motion. Like, you almost need a bit of, for me, you almost need a bit of, like, it's got to give just a little bit. Like, it's got to be kind of a little loosey goosey. Like, you don't want it to be too fucking dense.
That's interesting. I've read comments from people as they're getting older that they needed the thicker picks for like arthritis because it was easier for them to hold on to.
I mean, well, yeah, sure, all right. If you have arthritic hands, I'm not there yet. Yeah. I don't have gnarled claws of arthritic bones, but like, I gotta ask the question, with the one that you have you not just decided to go full on like emo girl and drill a hole through that thing and put it on a chain and put it around your neck and just have it at the ready?
No, because I don't know what this material is. And so like, I don't know if like drilling through it would crack it. So if I did know if I was a materials engineer, I would feel better doing that. But like, I don't want to lose this one. So I use this a lot for when I'm recording. So the 3mm ones, now we're starting to get somewhere. I don't like this shape very much. Okay. But they have a version where they
they got the groove in there for your thumb.
A hole in there, so like the Pick of Destiny style kind of
right
thing.
Yeah.
This one's okay. It feels good. This one's like your typical pick shape. I think this would fit your hands. This will not. There's no give on this thing. So like, at this point, there's no give.
And this is the problem with picks, is like, it is very much a personal preference thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I have played with those. They do sound good. I appreciate that you get that kind of groove in the center where you get that fucking thing locked in. So I feel like it ain't going anywhere. There is a lot of trust with the ones that have the groove on both sides and that little hole where you're just like, you're doing that fucking, touch of God thing where you're just like, skin.
Yeah. I will say the thicker picks, if you're into pinch harmonics, these make it easier to pull off a pinch harmonic consistently.
Yeah.
Like some of the thinner picks, you have to choke up really high and it's kind of inconsistent. With this big duber, like when you want that thumb in that right position for that nice pinch harmonic, it's 100%. You got that.
Yeah.
So the ones I landed on were these 4mm dubers.
Okay.
This one has sort of like a rounded tip on one end and then two pointy ends. It's cloudy because I used sandpaper to kind of give it some
scuff it up a little bit and give it a little bit of
And then this is the triangle one. It's nice, but
I don't care for the triangular ones. 1 point, great.
Yeah.
3 points, you're just asking it to dig into things that it doesn't need to dig into.
Yeah. And then finally, Big Bertha, 6mm. This bad boy. I liked the feel of the thickness, but the tip is more shallow than the tip of my.
I was going to say, it seems like it's too close to your fingertips, and then you don't actually get the tone you're looking for.
Yeah, so it's not as pointy as this is. I would have to sand with this a lot, and I was like, I got a show to play in a couple of days. I'm not going to do that. So I settled on the 4mm.
Mm-hmm.
It works for me.
Yep.
And these are affordable enough where if I lose it, I won't feel bad because I have backups of all of these.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas this one is staying at home. This one is staying at home.
Right on. So you're keeping the 4 at the ready.
The 4s are at the ready.
When the time to say, anyway, here's Wonderwall happens.
Yeah. The 2 might go in the wallet. Right now I have a blue Tortec blue, the 1mm in the wallet. The 1mm actually has give to it. It does bend a little bit. And so the more you play, it will wear out. Yes. I have a feeling that these don't.
Yes, that is true. But if you are like me and you have a leather wallet or one that you actually kind of like, what you don't want to have is the music nerd equivalency of the condom ring pressed into your wallet, where you've got that emergency pick dug into the outside of the wallet, where somebody looks at you and goes, "You play guitar?" And you go, "How'd you know?"
How'd you know? You never know when there's a guitar. I don't know why I wanted to tell you that, but
because you posted up about it, and
yeah. Brandon, tell the people who we are.
Huh. Every so often there's a gathering of friends, of, dare I say, brothers and someone who I consider family. And that means a lot, because fuck blood. Blood sucks. But when you get to bring people together that are family, and you get to discuss not anything important, and also everything that's important, that's way more than a show, Jamie. That's the fucking Do-A-Cast. Part of a bigger family called the Hard Knock Media. Now, when I say Hard Knock Media, I mean NOC, as in Nerds of Color. As in a fine group of people that have grandfathered my lily white ass in and said, you know what? You're all right. You can come to the cookout, which I take very, very seriously. I make sure to limit my mayonnaise intake and just try and make sure that when I have a question, I don't ask it in that fucking real awkward white guy way. Anyway, so you can find me, more importantly, Jamie. He's far more talented than I am. Biggest dick you've ever seen. Men can't wear shorts. And the rest of the Hard Knock Media crew at Hard Knock Media Podcasts. But we right here, we're the fucking Do-A-Cast. Just two good friends yuck fucking it up, as only two good friends can yuck fuck it up. We used to talk about things and, try and make them better, but now
it's a slice of life podcast.
I love how you managed to make it white.
We're a slice of life podcast.
Where, sometimes you just gotta take the bull by the horns, if you know what I mean, and just give everybody a little slice of life and let them know what's going on in your old neck of the woods. You know what I mean?
I was kind of wondering about that, because you talked about like how you're getting into the Behind the Bastards podcast.
Yes.
And like going through their stuff.
Yes.
And I was wondering like if you wanted to like change the format, or if you were okay with just like jibba jabbing away.
What do you mean by change the format?
Like have an actual topic.
We used to have actual topics where we would take a thing that commonly was kind of meh, and we would try and workshop it until we fucking did the thing. Like that was kind of the idea. And like over time, the structure has kind of faded away. But like, as far as us doing something like I feel like the topic's been fucked out in the same level almost to the point of like like a crime drama podcast or something like that. Where this look back at history while two guys yuck it up and try and give, like, I think either you need to be like a dollop where one of you has a group of people that help you put together these things, and the other one is incredibly funny, especially off the cuff, at just fucking hammering jokes and making uncomfortable stuff really funny and also still uncomfortable. Like, that's why I think Dave and Gareth from the Dollop do such a great job, and why Robert does such a good job, because he does not intentionally try and be a comedian.
Right.
He knows when things are funny.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he tries to yuck it up from time to time, but it's not the core of his thing. The core of his thing is, I'm a journalist, I'm a writer, and I'm going to present information and then let the reaction to these things happen naturally. And I think that's really great. But without having that sort of credibility in the same way that he does, there's no way for, I think, someone like you and or I to be able to do anything like that. Like we just don't have the reasonable credentials.
We're not journalists. I didn't study journalism. I draw pictures for a fucking living.
It's I think we're reasonably suited for more problem solving Dear Abby kind of things of like you've got some really off the wall side things and I tend to try and workshop some shit out real quick. Like we could in theory put a shot clock behind me just to see how quickly we can work some shit out.
Yeah, we could take listener calls and stuff.
Right, but we've tried this. We tried reaching out to the audience and have them give us questions or what have you. And what I learned is that we have a small, but loyal audience who's willing to interact with us, and everybody else is just kind of they're dipping in and out, and that's okay. Like I hold no ill will to anybody who dips in and out of our stuff. Like by all means,
I feel like our podcast is kind of like if you're in the high school cafeteria and you overhear some weirdos chuckling in the corner, and like you hear what they're talking about, and it's just random shit.
Yeah, the way it's been explained to me, and I think we delved into it a bit when we were on. With the I'm trying to remember the name of the podcast that was the Connecticut crew.
Opinions may vary.
Thank you. Where it was the idea of they got a chance to hang out with us. They know what we're like to hang out with. So sitting down with us is like hanging out with us. Like, like I think you had mentioned like Lar had mentioned something kind of similar of like, it's like hanging out in a room with two good friends and being part of kind of that joking around conversation, which is nice. Like I'm not interested in necessarily solving the world's problems. Like I'm not equipped for that at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could in theory tackle some things. I don't know what though, as far as that goes.
I feel like if I have an idea for something and then I bring it up, we do manage to like turn it around and like solve it. But it's been less frequent just because like things have been so rough.
Yeah. Things have been generally kind of rough. Like
kind of rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I sometimes have trouble figuring out what the core of, like when we do these, I'm like, okay. And even if I kind of don't feel like doing them, I'm like, I'm going to get on with Jamie, and 10 minutes in, I'm going to be joking around with one of the people that I love in the world. So like, okay, everything's going to be just fine. Like everything's going to be good. I'm amused when you tend to put me on the spot of like, so this thing. And I'm like, yeah. Like I'd be curious to have us try and solve problems. The problem is where's the line in which we don't cross?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, we shouldn't go into politics per se.
Yeah.
We shouldn't go into global politics, especially.
Yeah, I feel like low stakes shit, like movies or comics and stuff like that's low stakes that doesn't. I mean, it's become less low stakes now, but in the grand scheme of things, like whether or not a movie is good doesn't really impact you.
Yeah.
Like, we could talk about the Highlander series and how we would bring that back and make that like, because I know that
Muppets, you cowards.
I know that you sat there as I did and watched every single fucking episode of Highlander when it was on Channel 50 in the mornings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that you like I watched every one of those goddamn movies.
Yeah.
I was wondering like, why am I watching this? But I still want to watch this.
But I still watch the thing. Right. I know that the TV show Highlander was not good. It wasn't good. But I can tell you right now that I am Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. And like, I fucking step off that holy ground. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that bothered me about that show was when it tried to get all Batman about that shit, and he had like his ward, what was it, Richie or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I was like, what is the point of this?
Richie.
Yeah.
I think it was Batman. I think they were going to
right. It was like, who's trying to work out their shit? My parents are dead, and I'm gonna push it through the Highlander. I'm gonna rewrite Batman.
We couldn't get the rights to Batman, so this is
couldn't get the rights to Batman. Right?
Batman.
Yeah. Like,
but yeah, I mean, we could go back to the more entertainment focused stuff. Just, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind just talking about nothing every week, but then I realized that like, it's like the Seinfeld thing where like it's a show about nothing, but it's kind of a show about us. But like, are we really interesting people?
No, but that's why we don't have millions of listeners. We haven't figured out the pitch yet. Like, we haven't. Like, the only argument that I would have that something we should do is we either play like a fucking game together, or we find something to do where we just pick back up on something, or like, I don't know. We find a random book and go through a chapter, though. You can get shut down for that shit depending on the book.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could read shit that's public domain.
I could make you watch Kamen Rider.
The idea that this is a watch-along, a Kamen Rider watch-along that no one else has the video for, and it's just our audio commentary on Kamen Rider episodes.
That'd be so funny.
That's fucking dumb. I don't even know if that's funny dumb, or that's just funny to us dumb.
Funny to us, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've been contemplating what to do. I don't know, just to mix it up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, we could do the switch over or whatever it is, and fucking try something. Do you want to do? How would we do a watch along? We're gonna workshop this in front of everybody else. That's gonna be this episode. We're gonna workshop this in front of everybody else.
So I figure. So whenever we talk about a TV show, it's usually you and I have watched it separately. And I figure we could do a similar thing where like I'll give you an episode to watch, I'll watch it, and we'll take our notes, and then we'll come back together and talk about it, and like, review what happened, and then as we go along with what happened.
Okay, hang on. So we're talking about doing a review at that point rather than a watch along.
Yeah, because
I'm wondering if we do something totally different, and we actually do like we both have what the fuck? Where would we watch Kamen Rider episodes?
I would choose stuff that is readily available, like the Amazon, the handful of Amazon shows, because everyone has access to that.
Okay, all right. Or is that on Prime, or would I need to buy those?
I think it's on Prime.
Okay. I mean, because my thought would be we just bring up the episode and we watch it and then just start raw. Because I have no experience with this. Like, my understanding of Kamen Rider is what I have taken in around you. So, like, I enjoy some of the designs. Obviously, I find the premise kind of fun. I remember watching the fucking, whatever the fuck it was, the hour and 40-minute Henshin Mega Mix or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, no, not a movie, Jamie. It was just the master cut of everyone's transformation sequences.
Oh, I did remember.
Yeah, you did. You sent this to me at random. You were like, dude, you got to see this. And next thing I know, I'm like 38 minutes in, and I'm sitting on my couch, and I'm like, why am I still watching this? And then all of a sudden it was like, dude had like fruit spinning around, and then there's one with like insects, and I was like, fucking, that's why I'm watching this shit.
Because it's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah,
it's like crazy. That could be interesting. Like every week, like I'll pick a thing, and then you'll pick a thing, and then I'll pick a thing, and then you'll pick a thing, and we can mix it up and stuff.
I got to be honest with you. I think you just introduced me to all of the things that I have no history of.
Oh, okay.
Like similar to the dollop of I know nothing about tokusatsu as a whole. Like I get the outside shit of like US Power Rangers have an understanding of it. Kamen Rider have a brief understanding of it. I like do the Beetleborgs count? Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
is that a
it's
was
a
that
separate
a thing?
It's a separate series, but yeah, the Beetleborgs count. They're metal heroes.
Right, but it's part of the kind of whole genre sphere, right?
Yeah, it's part of tokusatsu.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, right. So like we could just do that where you just tell everybody if you want to watch along or you just want to experience it. And like I don't think we can do the audio or anything, but we can just watch through it and just let me power through. And if we've got I don't know. Well, watch it with subtitles on. So this way, even if it's dubbed, I'll still try and pick up on everything.
Yeah.
And we could just do that.
Okay.
Fuck it. Like, then we don't have to think about it. Then we just tear through whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. That could be fun. I'll also try to pick stuff that I haven't seen that I've been curious about, and then we could just like put it on.
Yeah. You could do that. You could do shit that you really want to see. So this way you can, or you've already seen that you know is fun or ridiculous and just have me to be like, the fuck is going on with this? Because honestly, we could turn a half an hour episode into an hour long podcast because I'm going to need to put the pause on a bunch. A bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it would be funny to watch shit out of context. So like start it in the middle.
True.
Series
yeah, whatever. Yeah. Hang on. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and go, but Jamie, what about the story? Won't I miss the story?
I don't know.
Perfect. Nailed it.
So I love Kamen Rider, but I don't care if you don't like it. Like that's the thing is,
there's no part of it that I haven't liked. It just doesn't make any sense because I view it as this is a show predominantly for young adults. It's a show written for 12-year-old kids.
Yes, it is for 12.
And therefore, the writing doesn't have to be very good. It can be very heavy-handed. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be clunky. And that's perfectly great.
Yeah.
But there's still going to be a bunch of shit that I love and I'll be laughing about. Like, that's, fuck yeah. Like... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Jamie, this is going to be like kind of riff tracks, kind of not, but yeah, like fuck it. Drag me into the Toku world.
All right, we'll try this experiment for a couple episodes. We'll see how it goes, and then,
maybe Tokusatsu Sumi.
Tokusatsu.
I don't know. Is that?
I don't know.
I said it and then I went, is that racist? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Right. I have no idea if it's inappropriate. Like this is my biggest fear, Jamie, is accidentally stumbling into something that you're like, nope, no, can't talk about that. So kids, you'll know when we miss a week that Papa Bear overstepped. All right.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out easily accessible stuff, and then if I have to find a fan sub for it,
I'll pay for like Crunchyroll or something like that if it's on there.
Yeah, some of the stuff.
I mean, if we're talking like a sub $15 a month thing, I'll pay for that.
Yeah,
I'll gladly pay for that.
So I will do some research and we'll find some weird stuff.
I would say don't try too fucking hard. Just pick one that you think is easily accessible and we'll tear into it. And you can decide whether you want to do it chronologically or what. Because honestly, also doing it chronologically, like the episodes in order, somebody who is a fan who might be watching this might get real fucking excited about the idea of like, oh shit, episode 4 is coming.
Yeah. Well, I think Kamen Rider Black Sun, that's on Amazon right now.
Okay.
That is dark as shit.
Okay.
It's 10 episodes. Yeah, we could try that. Try that out.
But wait, dark as shit like the original Crow dark as shit?
Oh, yeah, way darker than the Crow.
Oh, okay. Is it like violent, like adult rated stuff?
Yeah, like heads exploding and that's going places.
Sure, all right. Whatever. I can't prejudge. Whatever, fuck it. But bring it on me. It seems to throw away the idea of, I don't know, it being written for young adults, but fuck it. Like, that's...
Yeah, this one is written for the adults, or for the kids who grew up to be adults who watched the original version of it.
Okay, so you're talking about people who aren't necessarily looking for highbrow entertainment, but want that nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. These are the same people that watch Family Guy porn, Jamie. Like, just to forewarn you of, like...
Oh my
gosh.
I
like what I like, but then I know exactly what I like.
So yeah, we'll have to do like running commentary, and if we need to pause, we'll pause and stuff. And like...
yeah. That's fine. I'll figure out the pause, and I'll mention, like, okay, pause, time marker. What the fuck is? By the way, I apologize in advance. I don't know if my mic is like super hot, but I feel like you might have to pop me down a little bit on the playback.
Oh, the software that we use, the Riverside, they normalize it for both.
Do they? Okay, cool. I was going to say, because I noticed, like, normally I'm not in the red, and this just keeps peeking into the red every, I don't know, a couple seconds.
Yeah, Riverside is really good. That's why we switched to this then, as opposed to Zoom, where Zoom is just like, if you want these features, you have to pay extra. Riverside is like, you want these features, we know you do, so we'll just have it by default. Yeah,
it's just in there.
They're just in there.
So the big thing, all I ask is that the day of when we record, you just shoot me a link or instructions on where to find this thing.
Yeah.
And I'll take care of that. And I want no other lead up or information. And I promise, once I get it set up to figure out where I'm going, I will do no other looking or anything else like that. I want to go into this completely blind. So this way we have a fun experience of you drag me. And by the way, you've not turned me wrong on food or entertainment or anything else like that. So I'm feeling like really loved and held properly by the loving bosom of one Jamie Noguchi. Like, I have the full trust. So if things go bad, that's not on you. I'm blaming Tokusatsu as a whole. My hate doesn't go back to the Noguchi. It never goes back to the Noguchi. I don't bite the hand that feeds. That's not my MO.
All right. Well, we're starting dark, but yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Okay. I can't wait for the second series that we watch to be something bubbly as fuck.
Oh yeah.
To just completely throw me off.
Yeah. So for the next couple, we are the fucking Toku cast.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do something different.
It was a thought. It's a thought.
We can try it. What's worst case scenario, Jamie? People stop listening?
That's true. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the boss is like, fucking stop teasing them. Threaten people with a good time somewhere else.
It's Vince from Canada and Keith from where you live. And those are our two audience members.
Hey. If the YouTube views say anything, we've got almost 100 listeners in most episodes. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've got like mid 80s views on a lot of our videos, which is nothing for YouTube. But if I'm going to factor it in as like scrub ass podcast tier, like bullshit that we do no real marketing on whatsoever, I assume we get some actual podcast listeners on the podcast feeds plus the YouTube views. I imagine we've got well over 100 listens per episode.
I'll have to look at our stats.
I mean, it's nothing to. I honestly wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't give it a second thought. Like,
Why?
Yeah, why start paying attention to that now?
That's true.
Because I'm not chasing it. Because that's the thing. That would be the lesson. Because I almost did it once, where I started to look at the numbers and the topics and everything else like that, and I went, nope, stop, fuck it, don't do that. Because then I'm doing what every other YouTuber says that they've been doing, which is just chasing views.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I didn't want to do. Like,
I don't want to fucking change my content to the dumbest. Like,
yeah,
no thanks.
Yeah.
If you like us, I appreciate you. That's why we haven't asked for dime one from you. And the only time we ever ask for money is when Jamie is doing a thing. And I ask that you only give Jamie money. Like, don't even buy me a fucking Coke. Like, I'm not interested. I appreciate you. Fucking throw all the money at the Big Dick King. Like, it's just, yeah. Fucking right. Old BDK Noguchi over there.
BDK. You're gonna make shirts of BDK. What does that stand for? If you know, you know.
I mean, honestly, so long as it's just stacked font in a line at the bottom of the shirt, I'm super good with that.
BDK.
Just yeah, if you do a custom, like if we do a shirt where it says BDK right where the cock would be, and then we got the fucking Do-It-Cast logo as a little tramp stamp on the back end.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just all the prints down at the bottom.
All right. Well, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, fuck it. And right. If you're interested in hearing more about this and everything I said, please let us know. If you're not, also let us know. I don't know if it's going to deter us, but feel free to fucking let me know.
Yeah. It's an experience. It's easy to do when like we don't have like a big audience. Like we can just do what we want.
And that's kind of the idea is like, I'm not going to hold back an idea of like, if you think it might be fun, fuck it, let's try it. What's worst case scenario? We do it for a few weeks. We both are like, this is not working. And we pull the plug and we do something else. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Have you seen RRR yet?
I have not seen RRR yet.
So you
told me about this before and I gotta find.
We could break that into parts. Like
we could totally break that. Would be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Cause that's something that like I know is fucking long as shit.
Yeah. It's 3 hours. So we could break that into like a couple.
I would be totally good with that. See, this might be it.
Yeah.
This might be it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's the Bahubali movies that are oh my god. Fucking
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We got this.
All
right, Brandon, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at that guy Chalmers. Jamie Noguchi, where can they find you?
You can find me wherever your podcasts are sold. I don't know how to do this. It's like just put my name in things and it'll pop up unless Google AI tells you to like use glue to put pizza together or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. And be sure to use the hashtag BDK Noguchi. And for extra fun, use that hashtag at @SendTedCruz.
Oh boy. All right. We'll check you later.
Deuces.